Is your desk overflowing with pens and markers you never use? Do you have a collection of impulse planners that are collecting dust? This year, let's declutter our lives and wallets together. Hey everybody, welcome to Runs on Espresso, where we combine creativity and planning to turn our to-do list into a done list. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of my 2024 goals, including another attempt at a low-buy year. Imagine a year when you focus on experiences, growth, and saving money. For 2024, a low-buy year is one of my biggest goals. For me, it's not about saving money necessarily, it's about how much stuff I already have. I don't need anything, I just want it. Thanks, ADHD. Impulse purchases are something that I work on every day, and I do mean every day. I've seen people say stuff like, oh, just do it, or you have to work at it, you have to put your mind to it, you have to make a plan, you have to have a budget. Well, you know what? I do make a plan, I do have a budget, but my brain is wired differently, and sometimes those ADHD impulses just take over. Anyway, that is my long, rambly way of saying I'm gonna try a low-buy year again in 2024. I did try one in 2023. I started off really strong for like the first 3 months. And my attempts to hop back on that wagon just fell short. For today's video, I did start by reviewing last year's low-buy video. I will link that up there in case you want to check it out. But something I noticed when I was watching it is I had way too many rules and guidelines for myself. It became hard to follow and stick to. I also tried to track it separately from my budget and finances. And so this year I'm gonna put it all in the same planner. I'm gonna have a budget planner and it's gonna hold my low-buy information, my tracking, all of that stuff. I'm gonna streamline everything for 2024. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So that's what I'm doing. My guidelines are gonna be pretty basic. I'm gonna set a monthly budget and really try to stick to it. At the end of the month, I'm gonna review my budget, I'm gonna review my purchases, I'm gonna review my challenges, and I'm gonna update my guidelines, update my budget if needed. I'm gonna really focus on shopping my stash before I buy anything. Like I said, I have enough washi tape, I have enough notebooks, I have enough sticky notes. There is nothing that I need. I just want it. And I'm gonna take time to write down and kind of reflect on items that I think I want to buy. So if I see something at the store, Target, Amazon, wherever, I'm gonna write it down in my planner and reflect on why I want it, see if I have anything similar already at home, and if I do, I can skip the purchase or maybe follow the one in, one out rule. So if I buy something, maybe I have to get rid of something else. Again, I'm keeping my guidelines very loose and flexible. And for those things that I write down and think about and kind of reflect on, I am going to have to think about them for a few days. Like I can't be like, oh, I wrote it down, now it's 5 minutes later, so I'm gonna go buy it. Nope, I gotta sleep on it at least one night, if not 2. And of course, there are always exceptions to the rules. I do have some subscriptions that I'm keeping. Allie Edwards Sweet Bean Plans, the Archer and Olive quarterly subscription boxes, and I'm also going to continue to purchase the Chrissy Ann Designs Celebration Collection add-ons because I like those things, they make me happy. One of my big goals for the no-buy is to not buy books. I have a stack of I have a stack of books, you can see them right there. That little cart is stuffed full of books that I have not read yet, so I need to read those. And on my Kindle, I have about 1 billion, and a lot of those are free or discounted, but I need to stop buying books. If I come across a book that I feel I have to have, I can put it on my Amazon wish list. I can check to see if it's at the library, but I cannot purchase any books until I get through this cart of books right here. I'm not too worried about the Kindles. It's like, this big. It's not taking up a lot of space. Speaking of Kindle, Amazon is one area that I really need to watch myself. This year I have gotten a lot better at putting items into my cart and then moving them to the save for later, or putting them on a wish list, or deleting them completely from my cart. But I do have moments where I'm bored or whatever, where I'm like scrolling through Amazon. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted this. Boom, ordered, and it's here. And I get a dopamine hit from ordering it, and then in like a day or two I get another dopamine hit when the package arrives. And then I start the cycle all over again. So I'm not cutting out Amazon completely. There are some items that I order from them that I do need and use. Printer paper, face wash. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. So there's some items, but not a lot. So that is definitely an area where I'm going to try to keep myself off of the Amazon app, off of the website, and not just impulsively order pens or sticky notes or whatever. And besides the low buy for 2024, I obviously do have other goals. Before we dig into those goals, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel, especially if you want more on how my low buy is going throughout the year. For 2024, I am not going to be using a Moxie Life Planner, but I'm going to be loosely following their goal categories. I do like to combine fun and relationships with personal, as I feel those all kind of go together and there's a lot of overlap. And then for me, learning and growth go together more so than learning and work. So I'm making learning and growth one section and work its own section. And that leaves work, health, finance, and home. So I ended up with 6 areas total. My personal category is a little bit heavy, but they're kind of like standard goals that I've set every year or try to do. The first one is to read 52 books. That is 1 book a week. That has been my goal for the past, 10 years. Some years I surpass it. This year and last year, I only read like 30 some books each year. I do want to do Project Life next year. I've never done it. I don't know how successful I'm going to be at it, but I am going to attempt it. I want to do weekly art, maybe like a painting or a drawing, and play video games more, maybe like once a week. And then there's some TV shows, documentaries, things like that that I want to watch that my other half is just kind of like meh about. So I do want to watch some of those. I don't watch a lot of TV when I'm home by myself. I'm usually making content or reading a book or making art. So I would really like to add some more like TV into that time that's just for me. So maybe I can watch TV and make a painting. I also want to try to do like one activity, event, something a month that is not sports related. We have season tickets to the Coyotes and we split a season ticket to the Diamondbacks, so we go to a lot of sporting events. But I'd like to do more different things. Other things that aren't sports. For example, in February, we have the Alkaline Trio concert, so that will be like the February event activity that is not sports. And then the last thing is I really want to get back into weekly and monthly resets. I did them for about half of 2023, and I fell off that wagon as well. And I feel I really need those resets. For growth and learning, I do want to watch some self-improvement, continued learning type videos. I want to keep up my nightly journaling and my monthly charity donation. And that kind of is something I started this year but haven't been consistent with. And basically each month I try to do something like either a donation or 1 month, the golden ratio. They were doing a thing, if you bought a book, you could have it sent to someone that couldn't afford that book. So I did that. This month I did a huge donation of clothing and home goods that we no longer used to St. Vincent de Paul. And we're probably also going to do a huge donation to the animal shelter because we do that every Christmas. So that is what I'm planning to do for that donation type thing. For work, I really want to work on consistency with postings, videos, social media, newsletters, all of that stuff. Sometimes I'm consistent and do it for a couple of months and then I get off, and then so I really want to stick to it. I think we can blame the ADHD for that one too. I want to go out and take new images for my Fine Art America shop. And I don't think I've really said this on this channel, but I'm kind of writing a book. It's not going to be anything. It's a trash book. It's let me try to see if I can write a book. And if I like that, if it was fun, if it turned out well, then I have ideas for other books. And I don't mean trash like the book itself or the story is trash. I mean, I'm not putting any expectations on that book. For health, again, it's that consistency component. I want to be consistent with my running and my lifting and yoga. I always skip yoga. I want to work on eating to fuel because I need to make sure I have enough food for the runs, the lifting, to give me energy to get through the day, all that kind of stuff. And lastly, for health, I want to do more meal prep. I want to have stuff ready to go for easy weeknight dinners so it's not feeling like, oh my God, what are we going to make type thing. For the finance, I want to set and stick to my budgets and if need be adjust those every month. I want to continue to build my emergency fund, and I eventually want to max out my Roth, but we have some big home expenses coming up that will kind of delay setting up that last maxing out of the Roth. So, home. We have some big home improvement projects we have to do. We have to get the exterior of our house painted. So that's probably going to be like $2,000 to $4,000. And then we need to replace our AC unit, which is going to be anywhere from like $4,000 to $8,000. So that's going to be fun. Also for home, I want to follow the Clean Mama planner. I got it for a steal earlier this year. I think it might have been during the Black Friday sale. But for me, checking a digital planner is hard, which is why I haven't moved my actual like Daily Duo to digital. But my thoughts were the Clean Mama, I don't have to like use every single day. I can make notes in my Daily Duo with check Clean Mama, or I can, on Sundays, I can go into the Clean Mama and look at what I'm doing for the week, put it in my Daily Duo, something like that. I haven't quite figured that working yet. And then my last home goal is to work on planning the new home gym space and an office makeover. So those two are being put on hold again while we figure out the painting and the AC. Once that's all straightened and done and paid off, then I'm going to turn our guest room into a gym, and I'm going to redo the office so that my planning and craft and painting and all that stuff has a nice home instead of being in like separate little carts and randomness. So I figure I can start planning that out and figuring out what I need for each space, what I want for each space, how much those things are gonna cost, maybe start saving for those. And then once the painting and the AC are done, I can start on those. That feels like a lot. It's gonna be all about finding the balance and using my time wisely. Sometimes in the evening when I'm sitting and watching TV, I could be making better use of my time. I could be reading, I could be planning, I could be working on Project Life. I just need to actually do that instead of sitting on the couch mindlessly scrolling on my phone. What are your 2024 goals? I would love to hear what you want to accomplish and help support you along the way. Until next time, I hope your determination is as strong as your coffee.